Ayo. Hello, everybody. It's C, and it's been a while actually, 2 months to be exact, regarding JJK content. It's been 1 month if you, which nobody did watch, is me practicing Korean in Persona 3 Reload. I've not done that in a while. I've kind of dropped Persona 3 Reload. It was kind of boring. But yeah, I'm back, and it's a good reason for why I took so long to come back. One, every limited floor has been physical technique only. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but it's been 3 months in a row of blue floors being physical technique. They are afraid of Ino, guys. I'm telling you, they're afraid of Ino. Not Yuta, not Sukuna, but Ino, bro. They're afraid of him. So they have to like gatekeep blue to only physical. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if next month is another physical floor. So there's just literally nothing for me to do. If I had Miguel, then I would breeze through them with Ino. But I don't have Miguel, and this team I probably mentioned in the title is no Miguel. So this for people that do not have Miguel. They do not have it. If you don't have it, I'm so sorry, man. Honestly, me too. I also don't. But dude, it's so free if you have him. Like, it's actually insane how good he is. And when he does a rerun, I suggest everybody summon for him. I promise you guys, physical for blue is so bad. It's honestly so bad. Like, I know people like to glaze the UG, but I promise you guys, the second a new limited blue physical technique character comes out, everybody's dropping the UG. Like, he's trash. Like, everybody's dropping him. You know. But that's enough. That's enough about my update. Let's get into the game. Let me explain what's happening here. So, floor 89 boss here. It is a physical technique floor, so you can't use curse technique characters. No Sukuna, no Yuta. Well, you can't use Yuta because he has skill 3 before the ultimate. That's physical, and he's not that bad for this. Honestly, he could probably beat this floor if I'm being honest. If you replace Ino with Yuta and follow the same strategy, probably will be able to. So, but before getting into the team, this floor, it's pretty annoying. The boss has just a single attack, like random attack that can happen at any moment that decreases any of your characters' max HP and reduces their curse energy by 10. And they don't mention it, but it's by 10. So if you get hit by it, I think like they reduce your max HP by 10%, so you can only go to 90% HP, and you lose 10 curse energy. In our team that I'll show you, the only person that really gets affected by this would be Ino+Miwa, because he's very high uptime in this floor for us. So if he gets hit by it, it's not the end of the world. But if he gets by it twice, then it really is starting to become a little worrisome. 3 times in, it's kind of over. It's kind of over, you know. Just pack it up and get out. But 1 to 2 times you could make it work. 1 time for sure you can make it work. 2 times is a little sketchy, but that's all right. And the biggest issue with this boss is that the boss at below 50% HP increases his own ult count by 1. So pretty much every other turn, so every 2 turns, the boss will ult. And the boss is preset to always on the first turn debuff the team and buff itself. So it buffs its curse technique, and it debuffs the team, us, curse technique. Like, we take more damage from curse technique while it buffs its own curse technique. And it's always guaranteed, I'm pretty sure. It's guaranteed. If it's not guaranteed, it's a really high chance. Like, insanely high chance it does it. From what I've noticed. I'm pretty sure it is guaranteed though. I don't know. I could be wrong. I kind of autopilot in the game sometimes, and I've done so many runs that I don't even look at the screen anymore. I just do it blindfolded and just start clicking on things. It's the same rotations every time, you know. It's boring. It's RNG, guys. But yeah, so the biggest issue, like I said, and when the boss ults, the boss will reduce curse energy by 10% across the entire board for everybody. Like I said, that one's not that bad. The only issue is Ino+Miwa, but he can actually handle it. The 10 from the ult. It's just the single attack. You know, like like the boss has like a random attack, right? Like does a little slash or something from like other bosses, or shoots a beam. This one shoots a beam, and he has one where he just throws tentacles. If that one hits Inomaki, I mean, you'll see it in the run. I don't know if it hits Inomaki in the run or not. It probably doesn't. I think it hits Ino twice, which is like really good RNG that it hits Ino of all characters. Not like it really matters. It's, but yeah, you'll see it. And that one, just like I said, don't let it hit Inomaki twice or 3 times, because then it starts to become really difficult to maintain your rotations. And Inomaki has very set rotations this team or in this floor. You know, I'm talking about it so much. Let's just go look at the team. Like, what? Here's the team. Oh, sorry about that. Here's the team that we have. Here's Inomaki that I keep mentioning over and over earlier. We have him with the Imaginary Youth recollection bit here that gives 20% energy every 4 turns. In case you don't have this, and some people are gonna be wondering, can you use the free-to-play version of this? No. Guys, I'm sorry. I did try it. I did try this one, and it doesn't work. It's so much more RNG. Which a borderline just not working, if I'm being honest. It's not worth it, guys. I'm sorry. You do need this 4 turns here. Sorry. The 4 turns in the... Wow, where is it? Well, the 4 turns in the Imaginary Youth is really important. It just is. It's the only way to keep up with the boss. But I will agree that the auto skill and the free-to-play one, I think it is better than the than Imaginary Youth. Obviously, Imaginary Youth is only a one-time thing. Also, it's Curse Technique. It's a physical floor, guys. Guys, we're in a physical floor. It literally does not matter. You know, compared to this one just being damage dealt, so it's always going to be helpful no matter what. And also can repeat. It can repeat every 6 turns. But fortunately, the main skill is actually really important for the B4 turns. If you don't have it A3, I don't know if it still works or not. Guys, this 4 turns is so important. But this is probably the standard team comp you would see. Excluding you probably run like Yuji here, and you would run a second DPS, right? Yuta here could work. Maki works pretty good. I think you'll be like really desperate to use Sukuna. Nanami just got his SP buff, so you could actually run him if you want. Yeah, this floor has gotten a lot easier, right? Because of the Miwa and the Nanami SPs. This floor, if you're struggling on this floor before, you won't be that anymore. Simply because of these new characters, SPs. They're not new, but the SPs are new. But this is a debuff exclusive floor, and which is why we have 2 debuffers here, and only 2 debuffers for the main rotation, the main team here. And then Miwa actually is a stat buffer, and obviously because it's a debuff only floor, stat buffing is not as effective. But the boss only reduces it by 50%. Instead of, I think, other floors reducing by much more, or 60%. Yeah, I think other floors actually reduce it a lot more. Let me check real quick. Yeah, see, by 80%. So, so floor 89 is actually secretly easier, and the 60%, it allows you to squeeze through a little bit extra. The orange piccolo level of a little bit extra on top. So Miwa here actually can be used pretty effectively, I think, right? Obviously, because you guys want to maximize damage, you want stat buffing, damage dealt, and then debuff stats, right? So we have our stat debuffing here with Maki, we have our damage dealt with Geto, and then we have our stat buffer here with Miwa. So it's literally hitting the 3 categories, and it maximizes your damage, and it's only 60% reduced. So Miwa here has 50%. It becomes, I believe, like 20%. And then she has another one if she counters which we will be fishing for. You really want it to happen, if I'm being honest. You really do. You get 65% here, so be like 30 if I had to guess, 30%. So what, 20 plus 30, 50%? You get 50% extra stat buffing to multiply with the rest of the debuffs. That's really good. Obviously, you can stack this twice too if you want. There's no reason not to. You can do double skill 3 into skill 2 counter, and then you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe like maybe as like you'll be at 70, right? Roughly 70%. And if you ult 2, you debuff the boss even more. And if you crit, then you get the counter thing. You get the crit bonus stat buff. You get it back. I don't know. It's honestly, you just have to see the damage. It does help. I promise you guys, it does help. It does matter. It's not dumb to run a stat buffer into a floor that is stat buff reduced. I know it looks crazy, but trust me, it's good. And the memories here are pretty basic, if I'm being honest. We have double healing bits because Geto and Ino+Maki are very fragile. These two characters, I mean, if you have Geto A1, he probably isn't that bad. But I have him A0, and he dies, like, instantly. I swear to God, this guy is made of, like, paper mache or something. A light breeze just demolishes him. So, if he gets targeted, like, 3 times or 2 times, you have to heal him, bro. Anytime Geto is below half HP, he can tank 1 ult, I believe. When he's below half HP, he can take 1 ult, and that's it. He's dead, bro. After that, if he gets touched at all, he's over. So, Ino+Maki, I think maybe could take 2 ults, and then he's like, he's dead. He's gonna die. So, Ino here actually won't die. Ino's a really tanky character. I know it doesn't seem like it, but he's really tanky. Like, I think in my run that I'm going to showcasing you guys, he gets targeted a majority of the match, which is good RNG. And he actually tanks it really well. Like, I don't know, man. Could be because he's A3 or because he's the GOAT, The GOAT. But yeah, these two in the front here cannot tank. They are fragile. So we have double healing bit for them. We usually, I think you can see this, but you don't. So the RNG of this from them being super fragile is actually negated if you run this Yuji here because he has a taunt mechanic. So this Yuji can actually make it less RNG simply because you can taunt the boss when your teammates are low, so that the boss will pretty much never target Geto / Ino+Maki 3 times in a row. It'd be physically impossible due to the taunt mechanic. But we don't have a taunt mechanic. The only one we have is from Miwa, but it's not gonna have 100% uptime because you have to skill 3 at some point. And I don't know why, but the taunting, the taunt is only for 1 turn, so yeah, it won't have 100% uptime. And honestly, you don't want it to have 100% uptime because you kind of need Miwa to do damage too. And the boss doesn't always do a physical attack because he has a curse technique, range one, where he does a water beam, and he can do it 2 times in a row, and it just negates Miwa's counter. But yeah, so we have 2 healing bits here to make sure Ino+Maki and Geto are tip-top shape as much as we can. For Ino+Maki, I already mentioned it, we have the Imaginary Youth. Ino+Maki follows a very strict rotation in the match. So if you ever miss any turns, if you're following this for some awful reason, assuming you take off Ino and you run like a better character like Yuji, better quote unquote, he's just better for this floor, okay guys? You can even run Yuto, bro. Honestly, I could probably do Suicune at this rate. Ino+Maki has a very strict turns. You cannot miss a turn. If you follow my turns, you must follow it exactly for Ino+Maki. I think for the other characters, I mean, I don't know why you would change it. I'll forget to just skill 3, bro. Like, just mash this every time. You can ult if you want. I don't know. I don't really see the reason why you would. since it's a physical only floor. But you can, like, it's just Inomaki here that has a very set turn. Like every turn, it's set, it's made. I guess I designed it, quote unquote. I didn't really watch anyone else's, but it's the turns and the skills that I figured out that works the best. It allows you to do so much, take less damage, make it more consistent. Yeah, I'm sure other people probably figure it out. For Gojo here, his memory, you can run whatever you really want. If I'm being honest, I run this one even though it is stat resistant, or the floor is stat reduced. So this 10% here is actually like 30%, or not 3%, which isn't really that much. But to me, 3% is 3%, right? Say you hit Black Flash turn 1, which you won't in my turn. You'll hit it on turn 2. But if you hit it, 3%. You hit it again, maybe. It becomes 6%. You hit it again, 9%. And then it goes back to 6% because it runs out by that time. So at most you have 6%. Honestly, it's whatever. I just run this. I run this memory, this one too, because it's a set 20%. And it won't be reduced because there's no turns on it. So it's permanent 20% all the time. And if you don't know, you have to crit 2 Black Flash. So the first step is critting, and then you can Black Flash. You can't Black Flash then crit, you know what I'm saying? So that one, or you can run the Gojo's banner memory. I'm pretty sure this is from its banner. This one's actually really nice for the auto skill here, the 10 curse energy when the character withdraws. This one allows Inomaki to, let's say the Inomaki got hit 3 times with the boss 10 curse energy debuff. This one actually would make it very easy. Like, you would be fine because you would get the 10%. You get the 10 back. So it only seems like you got hit by it twice. And then obviously the skill's pretty good, but you have more RNG on Black Flashing. Obviously, because you don't have the 6% or the 3%, so it's obviously gonna be more RNG. If I'm being honest with you, I usually just run. I run all 3. I run this for 5 runs. It doesn't work out. I swap to this one for 5 runs. It doesn't work out. I swap to this one for 5 turns. It doesn't work out. And I go right back to here. I just swap. I just start swapping back and forth until something works. And for this run, this memory just happened to work. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. For this one here, this one's actually really important. Because here, this is specifically for him. His ultimate is curse technique only, so there's no point giving him memory like this one that boosts physical technique on ultimates. You can do this one though, like command skill physical technique increase if you want. Or yeah, so right here, right, this is probably the most common one. I think most people use this one. It's pretty good. You actually will see the damage. It will matter. The only reason I'm running this one is for the 10% here for just base 10% for all characters, right? Because there's no term limit on it, and we have at least one. We have Inomaki who fits this category, so we have 10%, and this one actually here, 3 turns for 25%, realistically 35% because of the auto skill. 35% physical technique for Ino here is actually really good, right? Because Ino does multiple attacks per turn. And something like this, like, oh no, this is actually pretty good. I was gonna say, because right here, if it has something like 2 times here, Ino will actually use both counts, two times. He'll actually use both of them in 1 turn if you're not careful. So he's very reliant on turns. Yes, he turns here, but nothing to worry about. I just like it for that 10% buff here to help out Gojo, because Gojo does a lot of good damage, and Miwa too. And I found the damage is pretty good overall. Like, I don't think Ino did less damage than usual. Not that I noticed compared to running the other ones, but I did notice Gojo doing more damage with it. So, pick your poison. Assuming you're not running Ino like me. If you run Yuji, then just run like this, guys. This is perfectly fine. You'll probably win like 8 out of 10 times with this team, if I'm being honest. But for this video, we're not doing that. We're running this guy here. And then Miwa just has the second healing bit memory here. But yeah, that's the team. I don't want to really waste your guys' time anymore. I feel like I've been talking for over like 20 minutes maybe for not even a good explanation. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this run. This is the final floor for Blue Tower. I'm pretty sure I've done them all now with Ino, right? All the way from 79 to 89. I don't think I missed one since then because I did 81, 85, 89. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would have to do now with Ino is to go back and make him main DPS for all the previous floors where I had him as sub DPS. But if I'm being honest, guys, the fact that you could even be main DPS on 89 should be enough to, like, it should just be enough. He's a character who's not really designed to be physical. Guys, this is his only physical attack. It's horrendous, bro. This skill sucks. The only purpose for this skill is the 20% damage. Just so you can then use it for this, his skill 2, and his ult. It's just a poor man's version of his skill 2, if I'm being honest. That's all it is, man. It's just the poor man's version of it. But so I mean, I'm not gonna downplay Ino. Obviously, you guys know I love Ino. The fact that he can do 89 is I'm really happy he can do it. I don't think I was the first person to do 89. I mean, I can't find the video anymore, but I think someone else did. But they used Miguel, and like I said, if you have Miguel, pretty much you can beat this floor with anybody. It doesn't really matter. I don't think Ino was even main DPS on that one. I think he actually had less DPS than like Miguel or something. But this one, obviously in my video, he is main DPS. He has the highest damage on the team, which that makes him main DPS in my eyes. I can't find the video though. I'm sorry. I did look for it. I remember just in the back of my mind, I saw it months ago or something, but I can't find it. And that's enough of me yapping into your ear. I'm sure you guys are like, please, Zeesh, stop talking. I want to see the video. I want to see the run. So enjoy the run, guys.
可愛い後輩もできたことだし、ここいらで活躍してぼちぼち俺も一級術師になっちゃうぞ。面白くなりそうだ。さて、鮭ベストを尽くすには霊気食らい尽くす砕けろ。さて、鮭やってやる。食らい尽くす砕けろ。せーの。ドラドラ。さて、今度ベストを尽くす。餌の時間だ。砕けろ。せーの。ドラドラ。今度やってやるよ。やってやる。崩れろ。事実に即し己を律する。食らい尽くす。せーの。ドラ。今度やってやるよ。よし。餌の時間だ。砕けろ。せーの。ドラドラ。さて、鮭やってやるよ。よし。食らい尽くせ。砕けて。始めるぜ。とどめだ。明太子了解。せーの。ドラ。鮭やってやるよ。ベストを尽くす。 2番霊気餌の時間だ砕けろせーのほら鮭やってやるよ崩れろ食らい尽くすせーのほらほらやってやるよやってやる食らい尽くす砕けろせーのほらほらここで殺す2番霊気食らい尽くす砕けろせーのほらここで殺すおし食らい尽くす砕けて無料空気ルナ明太子殺すあとは頼んだよ頑張ります好きだ鮭おし私集中しろ食らい尽くす砕けろほらほら好き頑張りますおし2番霊気餌の時間だ砕けろ寝ててくださいほら落ち着けおし私勝ちは譲れません餌の時間だ砕けろほらほら見切ったいつでも行けますおし崩れろ食らい尽くすはっ終わりです始めるぜとどめだ切ります了解鮭ベストを尽くす勝ちは譲れません事実に即し己を律する餌の時間だ砕けてほら無謀では相手にならないね勘弁頑張りますやってやる崩れろこの人たちに食らい尽くすほらほら鮭落ち着け私ベストを尽くす餌の時間だ砕けろ行きますほらほら 鮭いつでも行けます。よし崩れろ。2番霊気餌の時間だ。はっ終わりです。始めるぜ。とどめだ。切ります。了解。鮭頑張ります。やってやる。勝ちは譲れません。食らい尽くすよ。砕けてドラドラ鮭私やってやる。崩れろ。この人たちに食らい尽くすよ。ドラドラ頑張ります。やってやる。勝ちは譲れません。2番霊気餌の時間だ。砕けろ。ドラ鮭いつでも行けます。ベストを尽くす。崩れろ。餌の時間だ。はっ終わりです。ドラお見事です。ドラ好き。鮭頑張ります。この人たちに食らい尽くすよ。砕けろ。ドラドラ隙だら鮭頑張ります。よし事実に即し己を律する。食らい尽くせ。砕けて寝ててください。ドラ鮭頑張ります。よし崩れろ。集中しろ。餌の時間だ。ドラドラ調子が出ないです。勝ちは譲れません。食らい尽くすよ。砕けろ。ドラドラいつでも行けます。よし崩れろ。2番霊気餌の時間だ。はっ終わりです。ドラいつ上がり。